Okay, ladies and gents, sorry about the long wait. We had a minor technical issue, but we are now live for a 10-minute practice while the drivers just get themselves acquainted. We're just going to ignore us completely here. And we will move on to the other drivers. Do apologise for that long wait, but you know how these things are. Okie dokie, let's have a look through who do we have out here today. Fastest currently is Steve, who's going to set a 12.846. I think everyone's still getting themselves warmed up because these times are, going to start crumbling down as it goes on. Now, it'll be interesting to see what setups people have gone for. If some are going to be a bit more oversteery to get the rear to turn around to then hopefully straighten the car, or if they're going to go for a more front focused setup. Ooh, easy fellas. But then if you then work your front tires a bit too much and they get too hot, it just gets worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. We all know this. Barely any time differences between the group. So the difference between second and first is less than 500ths. Third is 800ths. Fourth is only 2/10ths. And if we go down all the way to, I think there's only currently 11 runners on track. Oh no, scratch what I said, there's a lot more runners on track. They're just taking their sweet ass time to get onto it. Whew. So, sadly, due to a technical hiccup, we're not sure where exactly, but the main camera focus is going to be like this currently. Ideally, I would have liked to have it where you get the viewpoint that you're looking from the track, but it doesn't seem to be wanting to play ball today. For goodness sake, why is it doing this? Now, this is a person that I've not had the pleasure of meeting. There's quite a few friendly faces and quite a lot of new faces. The field seems to be quite heavily bunched up. Steve has been taken off the top of his, and he's gone. Dennis has gone with a 12.705. Steve. Whoa! Hang on a second. Have we got identical times between the top two? Okay. Interesting. You may hear slight background noise, just issues. Okay, let's see what we can get. Let's get some actual... Oh, somebody's facing the complete wrong way. Oh. Okay, folks, not exactly sure what just happened there. Apologies. That was not expected to happen. But, yeah, sadly, these things happen. Okay, so while we're here, let's have a quick look at the times. Steve has now gone the fastest with a 12.710. Arno Statler, well, Stompy, 12.8. 12.8, look at this. This is a very, very tight field right now. And then if we go to the current slowest times, set by Justin Smith of a 16.0, but I'm pretty sure Justin hasn't set a representative time yet. Anyway, first things first, let's get let's get out on the track with someone. So we're currently on board with Justin, who's already improved on his time, and ooh, oh, for goodness sake. Just gonna go to a quick ad break. Follow and enjoy the advert. It shouldn't be too long. Okay, ladies and gents, we are back to the final minute of practice. Currently, the fastest lap is by Dennis. It seems Steve has either not gone out or left the session due to the end of practice coming up. The fastest overall time then is set by Steve, but the current in the session of the drivers that are out on the track is Dennis with a 12.873. So as it goes to qualifying, it will be quite a short qualifying, but due to the way Assetto Corsa is currently set up, you will not be able to see the cars on track per se. We'll be instead watching the times, and then we'll be going straight into the heats, followed up by the final. Right, that is the signal after everyone goes a bit doolally that we will be heading now to qualifying. So hold fire a second and we'll be back after this quick break. are back, and sadly, like I said, the issue with the way qualifying is set up, we're sadly going to be like a Formula One analysis and watching the timing because we will not be able to see any of these cars on track. They currently are out on track, but due to the way it's all been set up, it allows each driver to have the track to themselves because then there's no foul play, there's no one saying that they were blocked or impeded or anything like that. It's down to the drivers itself specifically. If anything goes wrong, it's down to them. Then they can exert the maximum of speed, the maximum potential that they can. So for the time being, for this just over 8 minutes, we will be just watching the timings. Now, the fastest lap I did see during practice was a 12.710. That was by Steve Blunkus. So we're still a little bit off those times, but during qualifying, as I say that, Steve then makes me shut up and goes with a 12.665, which puts him to the top of the timing sheets. Some people were already on their 6th lap at this stage, 7 laps now for Marchant Victor. Let's just have a look at a general idea. Justin Smith has definitely improved on what he was previously. He was 3 seconds off the pace, he's now only 1.8. Welcome all in the chat. I see you guys in there. I see a couple of you actually racing right now. So sadly, I don't have any cool setups to give you, but it wouldn't really matter with my awareness and driving. I think it would be more of a hindrance if you took any of my advice regarding the cars and vehicle setups. So I'm intrigued to see how tightly the field bunches up because currently Marchant, who's 10th, is actually underneath a second now. And then we have Rudy, Dylan Duplessis, Werner Jobert, one of the viewers, 2 of you actually see 4th and 6th. Come on, boys, if you're going to be in here, get up to the top. You can really make a good name for yourself. Dylan Johnson, Unro, Stompy, and Steve. This is a name I don't believe I've met. Marku Nosen. I'm butchering every name here, but that's the joys of having a British commentator. You guys are going to get a good laugh out of me trying to pronounce these names or mispronouncing them. So not too much longer to go. Just underneath 6 minutes. I estimate the pole lap time. I feel it's still going to come down a little bit more. I have a feeling we're going to get a 12.4. Now, that's quite a big jump, but I'm not expecting a low 4. I'm expecting like a 12.491, something like that. People have gone in, probably set their first, the first major stint of laps. Now they're going back. Now Dennis has only done the 2 laps, which is surprising considering some people are already on 15, 16 now. And as I said, that he does his 3rd lap and then automatically goes to 3rd, so he might be warming up for another couple runs. Considering only the 3 laps, it's quite good going. Let's see how Martin has yet to do a lap time. Now, whether he's just going through a very intense setup and trying to get it to cater to his needs perfectly. That's a way to. Oh, just as I said that, he's gone to set a lap time, and he goes P7 with a 13.065, 4/10 off the pole of Steve. Just looking, we have Tigers, we have Hot Rods, Clios, Fiestas, we have a Saxo, which yeah, a Hot Rod Saxo, that's a bit different. No, there's there's more than 10 entrants, but due to how this has been designed, I just have to flex this button here, and then you're able to see the extra. So there's currently 13 races. Obviously, if you're being technical, I am involved, but I will not be taking part. It's literally just for the the analytics, the technical side, and then also then further in the next couple of heats to be able to actually see the drivers out on track. Oh, you're not racing tonight? That's a shame. Have you been putting in some good practice? Or did you know prior that you were going to have to miss the events, so you just thought there was no point to practice? I don't mean that to come across as rude as not practice. I just mean like in save yourself some time. Oh, I need some water. My throat is hell of a dry. Alright, I'm surprised no one's actually improved on a 12.665. Managed to do 12.7s. You would definitely be up in. Well, if you're saying you'd be up with the 12.7s, you would be currently P2. And quite a clear P2 because Steve has nearly got 2/10 on everyone, which is quite surprising. Look at this. 31 laps. They've done pretty much nearly 2 race distances at this point. Their ping is skyrocketing. That may be a slight issue come race. Hopefully it sorts itself out because that's very high. Alright, let's have a look at people further down. Justin Smith is still P13. Marchant Victor is 12. Dylan Duplessis is 11th. Werner Jobert, I'm going to try it, is 10th. Rudy Graham, 9th. Jakov, I'm going to say Jakub. I'm just going to go first names here, it's probably easier. Marcu is 7th. Martin is 6th. Francois 5th. Dennis 4th. Dylan 3rd. Anro 2nd. And Steve, like I said, holding the pole position time. And you probably just heard a scream. Ignore that. That's just somebody trying to be a pain because they know I'm commentating. They're doing their best to try and distract me. Just ignore it. Yeah. I saw. Oh, sorry. Your message is retracted. I'm curious what it was. I remember when you first came into one of it. I was watching the input with that you were putting into the wheel, and it wasn't translating into what I was seeing with your car. Your car always was seeming to understeer quite heavily, like really, really heavily at some stages. So I'm glad to see and hear that you have sorted it out. Right, so that's coming to the end of qualifying. I don't see any last laps coming in, and we are done. That is pole position for Steve with a 12.665. We are going to leave the session and go to a quick break as we transition over to Heat 1. Be right back. We're just going to have a quick 2-minute period to thank our sponsors. Okay, off we go. Get ready for Heat 1, folks. Of course, it will do like the very short 30-minute practice, just while it allows them to kind of warm up, get set up on the grid, decide what they're going to do. It's quite a long entry actually from the pits out onto the track, but okay, off we go. I'm curious, will anyone set a quicker lap time during the opening practice than they did for their actual qualifying? I'll be interested to see. But anyway, that's the end of that. Go straight to the heat. We have a quick 1 minute cooldown period while they get themselves ready. And then we are ready. Do you have any predictions in the chat? Is there anyone else here that you may be supporting? Is there any family members that's taking part in this event? We have a 20 lap race. Okay. Overall race time, I'm expecting around the 5.5 minute mark per heat. Okay, of course I'm at the back, but when it comes down to the race, I'll be sent straight to the rear. So it looks like it's following the qualifying pole position times. But let's take ourselves back a little so we can have a bit of an idea. Let's go for someone in the mid-pack. Let's go for Rudy, sporting the Scottish flag. I'm pretty sure I downloaded the skin pack that was sent to me. Ideally, I did want to turn off the racing line, but for some reason, every time I go to change my settings in Content Manager, it decides to crash. Pretty sure I downloaded the skin pack. It looks like I've got the skin pack. My car hasn't because I never updated it. I left my car. There was no reason for me to ever update it. Okie dokie. So we count down to the 10 seconds and then eventually these lights. Rev limiters hit. Okay, my car decided not to go back to the pits. That's smart. Right, off we go. For some reason my it didn't seem to work. Okay, let's see. We got a little bit of wheel banging. Rudy actually had quite a good start. Started 10th. Has gone up to 8th. Let's go a bit further down the field. Justin has leapt up from 13th to 11th. Seems to be a bit... He's unsure. He's not sure what to make of it. You have Dennis that's dropped right down. And is now going to go up the inside and take 11th place. Up to the top we go. And Steve and Amro are pulling away. They've nearly got a 2-second gap now to Mr. Yako. Followed by Martin, who then has Rudy taking a different sort of line. Followed... I'm going to have to remember your first name. I'm pretty sure it's Marnus, who's 6th. Dylan Duplessis. Oh, careful, boys. Don't rear end the guy and then send them into the barriers. That will not win you favour points. Just like that. Hit. Oh, dear, 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 dear. It is rubbing his racing, I understand, but probably not the smartest way to do it. It looked like there was a minor issue there, as Arrow cuts up the inside of Steve. I think there may have been a slight bit of blue flags issues with a back marker, but Steve's got it all to play for, and hopefully you regain that P1 spot. Mark, right, thank you for, I'm really bad with names, so. He's doing well, actually. He's P4. He's having a good little squabble with Yaka. He's got a bit of a gap to make up to catch up with Martin. But Martin himself seems to be having a little bit of issue. That was contact with Justin Smith. Let's go up to the top two, and they're still line astern with each other. Now we have Rudy that's worked his way up, and he seems to want to be having a go against Yaku, and he goes very wide. It's a very different entry, but then slingshots out of the corner, goes past the back marker, rides the curb a little bit. Don't want to unsettle the car too much, Rudy. And now he's caught back up. So 5 laps to go, and easy, fellas. So the top two. Then still 2.6 seconds now to the gap to in third. So Martin's not catching them at the pace that he's going. He's keeping his gap around the same as 1.7, 1.6. So we go to Yaka, who's still locked in a fight with Rudy. And now Dennis has caught up with them. So you know it's going to be quite tasty, quite fiery. Dennis is seeing a bit of an opening here. Thought about it for a second. Dylan enjoying himself, getting him some good points. Now if he could get the cut back, I think he's now going to have the lunge or the run. Bit of contact again with Dylan. Somebody seems to be unlapping themselves. Unsure. And it seems that was the end just as I come across the line. It was Armrow followed by Steve. Martin takes third with contact at the end of Heat 1. Okay, we're going to be going on to a quick little break. And we'll be right back after this advert. Okay. Right, fellas. We'll firstly start with Mr. Amro. How was that race for you? Yeah, I was watching it, and you were having a very good battle with Steve coming back through it. Was there? I wasn't sure if I was able to capture it, but was there any issue with back markers or people letting you through? Very nice. You took the opportunities as they came up to. Very good. And winner of the amateurs, Dylan.
Hello.
Very good job, mate. How was that race for you?
Very good. It was very good race. Um, yeah. Um, it was a big crash, and I just turned everywhere and just hope I didn't get into that crash. But yeah, I finished. I don't know where I finished, but I didn't think I won in the pro am class. Now this heat, but I did. So I'm happy about it.
Nah, that was good. It's nice to see how you're progressing since I last saw you when you started. Was it last year?
Yes.
Yeah, you're progressing really well, and it seems you're taking the fight to some of the more people in the pro class, which is good to see.
Yes.
All right, gents. If I see you again after, then double interviews coming on, eh?
Sure. Yeah.
All right. Good luck, guys,
Thank you
in
very
Heat
much.
2.
Thank you.
Okay. Sadly, I don't have an interview screen. I'm going to have to get that made up. But we're now going to be heading on to Heat 2, so we'll be right back. Okay. Let's get ourselves ready for Heat 2. Thanks for the feedback. I've turned them up, hopefully, a bit more for next time. It's a shame. I really hope it wasn't too far, like too quiet, because it seemed we had a good interaction. Okay, so will they repeat it? Do you believe Dylan or Unro is gonna make it a double? If they make it a triple, it could even be a triple crown. You have 1, 2, 3 heats, and you take the final. That's a huge amount of points they could be hauling in. Alright, I'm interested to see who's going to be on pole here and how it's going to jumble up the field coming to the grid. Of course, my beautiful self is right at the back, but of course we'd expect that. Then we have Marcoux, Dylan in 12th, Werner, Justin Smith in P10, Marchant, Anro in position 8, followed by Steve, Martin. So the top 8 seems to be reversed. Jaco, Dylan, Johnson, Dennis, Rudy Graham and Francois on the front row. I'm intrigued to see how Anro starts, so we're going to be going on board with him from the lap 1. Oh dear. Now I've made sure, well, I've correctly set the binds to what they should be. So hopefully we don't have to jump back and see the reset to pits and malarkey, because I don't like that for you guys. But anyway, 10 seconds to go. The lights are going to count down. And we are racing. Oh no. So it hasn't... I don't know why it's not setting up correctly, but okay. Off we go. Francois is in the lead, followed by Dennis, Jaco. Rudy is in 4th, followed by Dylan Johnson, who goes up the inside. A little bit of contact. Oh dear. Collected by Steve. Martin gets his way through. Oh, somebody's in the wall. That's a shame. There's a bit of argy-bargy. Justin Smith. I believe, yeah, Rudy has retired and gone back to the pits. Probably sustained far too much damage, wasn't really able, and probably thought there was no point to continue from that place. So Francois got himself up into a good position, followed by Dennis with 6 tenths. 6-7 tenths, keeping around the same sort of gap. Then we have the same gap to Jaco, who has now only 3 and a bit tenths to Anro, who looks like he's on the mission to try and get another win. Goes to the inside and claims it lovely. Doesn't seem to run wide, and that's P3. Will Jaco fight back on him? It doesn't seem to be. The top 2 are about to engage in a good little battle. Francois goes a little bit wide. Dennis thinks about it. Is applying the pressure. He sees a gap. If Francois doesn't cover the inside, Dennis may go for it. It seems he's going to. They're now going to go wheel to wheel. Francois gets slightly better traction. And all this is doing is slowing each other down. Because now, once again, Anro has now gone on to 3rd. Right, let's look a bit further down the order and see how we're getting on. Steve, after getting involved in that kerfuffle, which I'm pretty sure he's taken damage for, is P7. Marcoux is now P8. Werner is 9th. Dylan Duplessis is now out as well as Joshua. So something may have happened further down. We didn't catch that. And Anro has all of a sudden just jumped up. Marchant Victor has now disconnected from the server. It seems in Heat 2, to survive, you may as well just get points. Survival of the fittest. You may not be you might not have to be the fastest, but as long as you can keep it out of the barriers, as Francois goes a little bit wide. He has Dennis behind him, and once again we now have another warrior entering, and that's Jaco, who has a 2.4 second gap to Martin, and Martin is in a good battle with Steve. And Dylan Johnson's watching it all. Oh, a little bit of rubbing his racing. Keep it clean, boys. Steve claims P5 and goes about his way in attempting to hunt down the rest of the pack, but unless there's large incidents, I doubt it's going to happen. Dennis is all over the back of Francois, but it just seems he can't make the move. He has all the speed in the world, but he has no room. Francois is driving very defensively, and he's keeping it nice and tight, which is the way you want to be. Arnro is blasting away into the distance, it seems. You're counting down your laps, Dennis. If you want to do it, you're going to have to be either a bit brave or try something a bit different. We are now on the final lap. Only a couple turns to go at this page. And across the line. And Armo takes P1, followed by Francois, Dennis, Jaco, Steve. Oh, seems to be slight jumbling because obviously people are leaving the session. Okay, we'll be going to a quick break and then we'll be having a second interview with Armo and whoever won the amateur class. We even have an interview during the adverts. There we go. Okay, Marco, congrats on winning that for the Pro-Ams.
Thank you very much, Uncle.
How did you find it?
Oh, it was fun. No, it was very fun. A little bit challenging, but yeah, all in all, it was a good one.
How was the setup for you?
Definitely better. First we struggled a little bit, but got a little bit more traction out of the bonus, so I'm very happy with the setup.
You've got some fans currently in the chat cheering you on, and Elroy and a Linda Lee.
Yeah, that's my girlfriend and one of my best friends.
Oh, look at that. See, the fan club's already coming in. Now, it was good driving. I sadly didn't get to see too much of you because it seemed to be a bit of chaos happening. Some people spinning, others going into the wall. We had a little bit less finishers that heat, but nevertheless, very good drive.
Thank you very much, Uncle. Appreciate it.
And Mr. Amro, you're back again. Round 2. Yeah, definitely. I think you started, was it P8? Yeah, I think it was due to the reverse grid order that they had implemented, but it didn't seem to hold you back. You carved your way through there like butter, like hot knife through butter, you know?
Came out there, I saw I had an upper hand for the corner, and I went for it. I had a clean line, and luckily I made it through. No one crashed. What I thought. So yeah, it was a hectic but a fun race as well.
Yeah, I did see contact between, I think it was either Dylan or Rudy or someone that seemed to cause a little bit of chaos where people were having to go wide and others crashing in.
lucky to have it, but I mean, it's racing incidents. Luckily, I saw the incident coming and swerve out and I dodged it.
Racing is racing, isn't it? At the end of the day, you could be on one side of the on the good side of it, and other times it can just bite you. But that's just the way it goes.
Yeah.
But but congrats to both of you, and enjoy the points, enjoy the position, and have a great Heat 3, and then hopefully see you in the final.
Thank you very much, Michael.
Thank you, Marco. Well done as well.
Baie dankie aan jou ook, Andrew. Waardeer het.
So,
I cocked up there. Ignore the sound that was already coming through, but that's how it is. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Now, if it's gonna, I'm not sure whether it's gonna be reverse again. The top 8 is gonna be the reverse of what we saw previously, or whether, oh dear, or whether it's going to be a complete jumble up. That's my query. So it seems whatever I set to the binding does not seem to work, and now we're just waiting to go to the race. Oh no, please don't. Oh, thank God. I was worried I was in the middle of the field. This is a slightly different jumbled grid. Okay, so Steve, Dylan, Dennis, Anro, Francois, Yaku, Martin, and Rudy on pole. But okay, that's why people are still coming to the grid. But I'm confused why there's a line like this here, unless the other people are yet to come onto the track. Alright, we have 50 seconds. Then it'll be Heat 3. I believe the reason it's not syncing up is due to my wheel still being connected, but I'm not even attempting to sort anything now. People are already beeping their horns. As soon as it starts, I'm going to quit and we're going to jump straight back into it, and hopefully we don't miss a thing. Hope everyone's enjoying. Heat 3 is coming up. Oh, right, okay. Rudy still in the lead. Holds on to it. Martin tried to challenge for it, but if Rudy keeps taking this wide line like that, that's not going to work. Oh, it's actually relatively clean. I haven't seen many names tumbled down. People is kind of keeping to themselves. A little bit of net ping, I believe. Dennis down the inside takes Francois. Steve follows him through. Then we have Dylan Johnson on the back of Francois. Might even go for the inside line. He does. He's gonna understeer into Francois and they make contact. Justin may have had damage by the way how much further back he is, and he seems to be coasting. Back to the front we go, and let's go on board with the mid pack here. It's very tight. Rudy, Martin, Anro, Dennis, Steve, all the pros. Well, Linus, Stern, really. They seem to be stuck together or towing each other along at this pace. Back marker, somebody being lapped, keeps clean out of the way, allows them through. Oh, there was a little bit of issue there because Dennis seemed to lock up or back off, which in turn checked Steve and then in turn checked Jaco. Steve takes fourth. Oh, Rudy goes a little bit wide. He doesn't want to be losing the lead coming to the end of it. But they're all tripping over each other a little bit. Dylan Johnson's now joined the group, followed by Werner. Francois. Look at this. The top 10, all within a corner. I'm intrigued now on who's going to win the Pro-Am class. Because they're all, well, very close to each other. Bit of oversteer coming out the corner. Let's go back to the front. Rudy might be giving himself a bit of breathing space if he can get into a rhythm. Because last race in Heat 2, I'm pretty sure he didn't score any points due to the contact and then retiring to the pits. Oh dear, that was definite contact there. Yeah, that was not the smartest coming back across the leaders. He let one through and I assume he thought the rest of the cars had gone through, but in doing so, I'm pretty sure there was contact between Martin and himself. Enro is now hunting after Rudy. Is he going to make it 3-3? Could happen. Steve is now going to want to have a go at trying to get in the podium places. Luck has not been on his side. Dylan is now P5. Dennis. Oh, easy, fellas. It seems wherever Dennis goes, Francois is literally stuck behind him. Right, let's see. People going down. Jaco is 10th. Marco is not having such a clean race and not having the best luck of it all today. Oh, bit of contact. Oh, okay. Whoa. Okay. That was weird. Arro has taken the lead again, so Rudy's now going to have to try and fight to get it back. Amro's now taking the final lap. Whether he gets impeded by a back marker doesn't seem to be the case. And Amro takes Heat 3. Okay. Dylan Johnson finishing a nice P5. A little bit of a drift coming out the final corner. Continuous drift. Okay. Well, that's Heat 3 done, guys. We're going to be moving now to the interview phase once again. So, just... Oh. Hold your horses for just a minute. Okie dokie, gents. Ah, Mr. Rudy. How was the race, Matt?
It was tough. The last couple of laps I had a bit of tire weight. But yeah, other than that, I was sweating. Andrew was making my arse off. But yeah, right then was actually very good. Right.
Was it just the fronts giving up in the latter couple of laps, or was it just the pressure from Arno behind?
No, it was actually the left front that was giving in.
Ah, a bit too much tyre wear, just a bit too much understeer, and then it just drags the car wider and wider and wider. Well, all in all, good race. You held the lead from pole just to the latter stages. You had quite a lot of pressure from Martin behind.
Yeah.
And then I think I saw a situation where somebody let the leaders through and then they cut back to the racing line thinking there was no one else there. But that's just, that just is how it is, and these things will be sorted after the race. But well, we're going to call his name again, Mr. Ambra. 3 and a 3 and a 3. No, that was a that was an interesting race from what I was seeing. There was a bit of argy-bargy, a little bit of wheel banging here, but nothing dirty. It was just keeping it nice and clean for the most part. Yeah. We did have I was able to see, we could see the top 10 all within one corner, and it was just a train of you. There was literally, no one could give an inch, otherwise they would lose positions just like that. Awesome job, gents. Have a good race in the final. Do your best and try to get those points and podiums back on the board.
Thanks, Andrew.
Okay, just minor break as we go to the final. Okay, time for this final. 25 laps. Hope everyone's enjoying themselves. I'm a bit unsure what you mean, Lindy. Please make it clear for the drivers. I'm pretty sure I have been, but if you're gonna explain, let me understand how you mean, then I'll work on that. Another bit of waiting. Okay, right. Let's see who we have further up the grid. With Werner in 12th, Dylan Duplessis, Justin in 10th, Marco, there he is, your boy, in position 9, Dylan Johnson in position 8th, followed by Rudy Graham, Francois, Enro, Steve, Martin Meintjes, Dennis Kutze, and Jaco is on pole position. Just because his fan club's in the chat, I think we're going to take the ride from the start on board with him. Okay, ladies and gents, final race of the night is coming up. And just after this is done, we'll have the interviews, and then we'll just have a minor advertising break. And where I'll thank all of you for tuning in. These engines are awfully loud in my ears right now. Trying not to deafen myself, but it's painful. That's all I'm going to say. Right, off we go again. He hasn't had the start he wanted. He lost position in the process. Oh, it's getting a bit wild and wacky up in the top. He's got the inside line. He might even take 2 positions in one. He does, if he holds it. There you go, Marco up to P7. Rudy is following a little, but he seems to have got it covered. Let's go with the front for a little bit and just see who's getting what. Oh, try not to hit the wall like that. That's going to drag you in. They are coming up to, I believe, yeah, Smith, who it seems he's just struggling with the overall steering. He can't seem to get the car to turn to his liking. Let's see how the leaders navigate past him. Nice and cleanly. He keeps clean out. Jaco goes wide, which is allowing Martin to have the line and a look. And steams through into the lead. Marco is now caught up with the pros. So this is only getting better and better for his fan club in the chat right now. Oh, there was definite contact between, I believe, Dylan. Yeah, Dylan and Jaco. Look at this. Marco's carving his way through the field up to P6 now. Oh, definite contact between Rudy. Rudy is He's looking a bit sorry for himself. I think he realised maybe that wasn't the smartest move. Coming up to pass Smith again. Keeps it nice and tidy, out the way. And we're not even halfway through race distance yet. Oh, here we go again. Harmro diving down. Being followed by Steve. So it seems the top two we're getting the same similar names now. Martin, Dylan, Francois, Marco. Ooh, he's just improving every race. He's now got nearly a 3-second gap to Dennis, who's now nearly got a 4-second gap to Rudy, who's being hunted down by Dylan Duplessis. There's definite. There's a few people, I think, a couple laps down more than they really wanted to be. So this is... Oh, contact! See, that's not going to help. It doesn't... no one's lost position. Oh! Oh, okay. There was a... I don't know what's happening with Marco. I think he's having a bit of ping issues. Because, I was about to say, why would... That was surprising, yeah. Okay, right, back to it. We've had a bit of normality. Oh, careful with how you rejoin there, Justin. Yeah, I can see that coming a mile away. Wow, that's giving Amro the breather he needs. Now Dylan's running a nice P4, followed by Marco in P5. Dennis P6, just trying to claw up some points. Yako has disconnected from the server, sadly. Oh, bit of contact again. Francois makes his way through, but it seems he's battling somebody that's a lap down. So, and neither of them are going to yield as they go and bump wheels, mounts the curb. This looks a bit like it's for pride more than anything. And we come on to the final corner of the final lap of the event, and Anro wins, followed by Steve, Martin, Dylan, who had Marco P5, Dennis P6, Francois 7th, Rudy takes 8th, followed by Dylan, Werner, and Smith. Okay. Back to this we go. Let's have a little ad break. Just wait for the race stewards to bring down the winners of respective classes down. This seems like it's almost becoming a common appearance for both of you. Oh, wow. Good little fight between the pros until a little bit of, it seemed to be a bit of backmarker issues, but that's how it is in these days. Yes, Martin? Oh, okay, okay. Okay, so we'll go down the list. Let's start with Anro and Dylan. Marku, yeah. Sorry. I'm just getting mixed up because there's so many names in here. Okay, Marku. Congrats. Your fan club was cheering you on quite happily in the stream. Oh, sorry, I'm having slight issues on my end, Martin, if you just want to run this quickly. Okay. Well, thanks everyone for popping in. That is the end now of the stream. The event is now concluded. As you heard, the points have already been read out. The standings, we will not try to do that every other week, but to give you guys a bit of an update on what's happening. If you're unsure of the standings or results, you're more than welcome to join the Discord. I will just now post the link to the Discord if you're interested to whether you'd like to join. You're more than welcome to. Just need to grab the the Discord. It seems it's hiding somewhere. If not, I will just post a link for it later on. He's done extremely well, Car31. Thank you everyone that's popping in, and thanks again to our sponsors. Alright, cheerio everyone, have a good rest of your evening, enjoy it to the best you can, and we shall catch you on the next one. And